I thought I'd make a short little video, which let's see if I can keep it under 15 minutes. But for anybody that is not interested in listening to these tapes that I'm making on holodynamics, I really want to kind of introduce the idea that this is the most brilliant information that I've seen, but the creator of it is dealing with some insanity himself. And the reading that I'm doing is not just sitting there reading, break my opinions up all the way through the book. It's more like my personal book discussion because I do see a lot of insanity within the book, mostly in his behaviors. And I also go through my own personal insanity that I see, that I do, that I still need to work on. So it's not just, I don't think it's all that boring sitting there listening to information from this book. I mean, if you really want to focus on looking at a doctor's, I mean, if you want to see genius and insanity, I'll point out the insanity within every one of these books. It is far from perfect, but the imperfections are kind of a guide that'll help you out too if you can see it. And I would love, love, love that book discussion because maybe I might miss some of the insanity going on. It's worth a discussion. So it's not just me reading a book. It's me giving my interpretations of the medical world, because this guy definitely is a doctor, and all doctors from what I can see are pretty screwed up right now, and take a pill. And although that this guy's got this really, really amazing tool that I think he should win a Nobel Peace Prize, it does have flaws. It has some major, major flaws in it that I discuss, and I would love anybody that's, even wanting to read the books. If you do read the books, come back and have this discussion with me, because are you going to notice the contradictions in there? Are you going to notice the insanity if you read these books by yourself? I think that this is something that needs to be studied as a group, and I would love, love, love to rewrite all of these books and get rid of those contradictions. Um, so it isn't just listening to boring shit. It is kind of pointing out somebody's insanity, not to make them look really negative and bad, but I do kind of think that all of us are in tune with negativity, and I'm suggesting it mostly because I want to bring our interest of that negativity, and let's see how we can transform it into something that's positive. So I'm kind of doing something that's bad with the ulterior motive to do something that's good. And shout out to Dr. Wolf. I think you're amazing. I am not your enemy. He sees me as his enemy, but I also see, a doctor as my enemy when they tell me to ignore a problem and they don't offer help. I think there's something wrong with the medical community, which this man has done. Lots of things this man has done that I don't think is actually that good for me. Um, but I don't see him as my enemy. I'm his biggest fan. So I'm not his enemy, and I don't see him as my enemy either. I just wish he'd get off his ass and get to work and do what he's supposed to be doing, which is what he wants to do. It's like he's got this big wish for himself, but he hasn't unfolded it yet. He's got this going from point A to point B. He ain't at B yet, and he's got the tools to use it, so it's like, why the hell isn't he using his own freaking tool to unfold his dream? So, kind of entertaining. I'd go and listen to the playlist. You'll end up being able to track your way out of any problem. You'll be able to solve everything if you really understand this stuff. And it could be entertaining looking at somebody else isn't perfect. And if somebody else isn't perfect, then maybe you can accept your own imperfections as I do. Because I also give my imperfections that I see. I'm kind of looking for you guys to point out things that I don't see in myself. And I'm reading the freaking book, and it's like, if you can point out something that I'm saying, hey, this is really good advice, do you see me following it or not following it? And let's have that discussion. So anyway, peace out. I made it short. It's less than 5 minutes.